All right, so we're going to take advantage of a warmer day being I'm still in my jacket. I think it's like 45 right now, but it's very wet outside. So it's not necessarily the nicest day, but I got the fender pan off on this 420. I just pulled the deck off. The deck is hanging up by the X748, which I'll go over here in just a minute. Overall, this machine is disgusting. I don't know why, but all of this is just caked in grime and mud and everything. One thing I did notice when I cranked it up to bring it out here is the drive shaft definitely has some wobble to it. You can see that, so definitely gonna have to inspect that. Not something I wanted to see. So we've already looked at all of this, and I'll get all of this cleaned up and whatnot. But I mean, overall, not really all that excited about this machine. I mean, it would be nice for somebody, but at this point, I mean, with as messy as it is, we've got some serious work to do. And I've already shown you the crack back here on the frame, so you can see that in there. I don't see any other frame cracks on these older 420s, 430s. Every now and then they will crack in here, in that area right there, where all this comes together. It may be cracked, but we'll have to see when we get it all clean. So I got to get the pressure washer out so I can clean all this. And then if we look over at the deck, really I am excited about the deck because it does not appear the gearbox is leaking, which is good. However, I've taken the deck covers off and everything, and the deck is disgusting. Lots of goo. So who knows, the deck may be rotted through. We just don't know. Drive shaft is pretty good though, nice and tight. A little bit of play there, but that may be in, I think that's just a run out of the gears, so not too terrible there. Underside of the deck actually does not look that bad. I am kind of shocked. In fact, the underside of the deck is pretty daggum clean. So let me get the pressure washer out, and we'll pressure wash this bad boy and the 420 itself, and we will go from there, see what we're getting ourselves into and what kind of project we have or project we don't have. So today will be the day we decide what to do. All right, well, I got the 420 somewhat cleaned. I've had it sitting in front of the heater, dry it off because it's so damp outside. I can't say that it's much better than I originally thought. It's cleaner. I got the belly pan off and everything. Belly pan's pretty much toast. I got most of it clean. Drive shaft definitely has some play in it. Got the frame cleaned up, and there's a small crack. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it. There's a small crack over on the other side in the frame. So I think that this machine's kind of, we're getting to the point where it's not economically salvageable. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know. It's right there and it's just starting to form. I don't know if you can see that. The problem with GoPros is they don't focus very well on close in things. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape. Yeah, I mean, the deck's actually in very, very nice shape. Let me see if we can get some images of the deck. You can see the deck out here. Deck actually cleaned up really, really well. I am thoroughly impressed with the deck. It's a newer deck. So it has the grease zerks in it. Some of the really old 400 series decks did not have grease zerks. They were just flat nuts on the top. But these do have the grease zerks. Can't remember what the serial number was, and they added those. Gearbox isn't leaking, anything like that. So I think the deck is probably going to stick around no matter what, in case I need it for something. But yeah, the deck cleaned up really good. The tractor, on the other hand, I mean, it cleaned up, but between the front pulley, the drive shaft, got to see if you can get universal joints for the drive shaft. I'm not sure if you can. I got all this back here cleaned up decently well. It's hard to clean these machines at night, and you know, with the short days right now, it's just really hard to get them clean. But at least it's clean that I can do some better inspections moving forward. So we'll keep plugging away at it, keep picking at it. But right now, I'm trying to think. So just numbers wise, because I try to give everybody numbers. I paid $1,500 for the tractor, which I think I was probably overpaying a little bit, but I got a snowblower with it that you saw. And now to add to that, I would need a $360 front pulley. We're going to say find a good drive shaft on eBay for 50 to 80 bucks, something like that. So you're already, you know, you're approaching $2,000 and you haven't even done anything. And realistically, then we have this big crack on the back right here and in the back frame. And then we've got that small crack. That crack is probably, it's been there probably 20 years. It's just right there on the weld, I guess, where it's flexed a couple times. But it's there. And so, and then I just noticed that this is cracked right here. This side panel's cracked right there, which I have one of those. But I'll do some math on this thing. You know, we'll have $2,000 in it when we get done. I don't know if a 420 is worth $2,000 anymore. 5 years ago, a 420 certainly was worth $2,000, if not more, probably in the neighborhood of 2,500. But anymore, they're just $2,000's about it for a 420, and I don't know if this one would ever get that look that good and get that kind of money. So, but I'll keep plugging away at it. See before I make a final decision. We'll see where we're at. It's got some replacement lines. This looks like this line has been replaced at some point in time. So that's good. I mean, somebody's done some maintenance to it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing scary about it. It's just, you know, it's all about dollars. So, but it shows you that, you know, you buy a machine, and certainly not faulting the seller by any means, because I mean, I bought it. I actually knew about the crack in the frame, in the back here. So, but I mean, I think it's important when you buy these machines, you realize some of the problems they could have. And, hopefully by me going over the number figures, that helps. If you're looking at a 420, it kind of helps you put in mind, okay, this is what I'm going to need to do to get it running again. Now, keep in mind that you could probably run this machine for another 200 hours with that pulley like that. Probably make some god-awful sounds, and it's never going to sound good, and it's never going to perform 100%, but it would work just fine. So really, it's kind of that level of how picky do you want to be. Just like this frame crack. Both cracks in the frame have probably been there for 15, 20 years. And how picky do you want to be? So they're obviously not hurting anything right now. It's not like the frame's falling apart or anything, but it is a known weakness for these machines. You know, the same thing with the tires. So I was telling you about how one side is flat and the other side is dished. That would just get on my everlast nerve, to be perfectly honest. And it also needs a new set of front tires, because one's a golf cart tire and one's a regular turf tire. So we'll keep poking away at it and see what we can do. Can't promise you anything, but it should be a fun project no matter what. Whether we fix it or we part it out, we can kind of go through how the linkages work and stuff like that. So I think that's it for this video. Just a little bit of talking, not all that exciting. So what I'll do is I'll actually upload 2 videos. I guess I'll put this video up on Sunday. I'll have skipped Saturday. I'll put this video up on Sunday, and I'll just do 2 videos, one at noon, one at 5 o'clock, something like that. So thanks for watching.